It all began as a young page boy, Joseph Mayo, dressed to the nines and following a long silk and ermine capamania behind then Bishop Joseph Lennox Federal, a graduate of the Cathedral School and Judge Memorial, and on to enter the seminary on behalf of the Diocese of Salt Lake City. Following his ordination, Monsignor Mayo began his many years of service to the church in Utah, assisting and leading in parishes in Salt Lake City, Ogden, Kearns, Draper, and more. His work in the diocese has included many different roles, not only priest and pastor, but also director of religious education, the diocesan superintendent of Catholic schools, and leadership positions on the Catholic Foundation Board, and more. All of this culminated with his appointment as rector of the cathedral in 2000, where he would assume leadership of the diocese's mother church and the oversight of the newly established Magdalene Choir School. When Monsignor Mayo began his work at the cathedral, the choir school was still a fledgling institution just 4 years old, bursting at the seams in the basement of the cathedral. Work to acquire the Roland Hall St. Mark's campus was well underway, and Monsignor was charged with managing the last of the real estate negotiations that would lead to the transfer of property to the diocese and MCS, with plans being laid for the school's eventual move to the new campus directly northwest of the cathedral. Monsignor Mayo inherited a choir school that had lost its youthful innocent blush and was beginning to feel the institutional growing pains associated with moving from an exciting and enthusiastic new venture to a stable organization with clear policies, roles, and procedures. It smacked of all the agony one endures when coping with miserable adolescence. Monsignor managed these growing pains with remarkable grace, kindness, and patience, modeling with gentle strength how one faces institutional challenges, yet avoiding bitterness, conflict, and division. While providing clear leadership, he never uttered a harsh word and kept the, at times, slightly lilting MCS train firmly planted on its tracks and progressing toward its future. He was firmly committed to the mission of the cathedral and the choir school, and worked to expand its financial resources in order to support the various ministries. On one occasion, at the investiture mass for the choristers, which coincided with the memorial of St. Vincent de Paul, he reminded the children of their important role in the life of the cathedral, saying, "You are, in fact, the royal and priestly choir of the poor. You serve all who come to this place for comfort and grief, to mourn the loss of loved ones, anxious about the loss of employment or a home, and more. You are not the musicians of the elite concert hall for the aesthetically sophisticated, or the extravagant performance house open only to those of means and social status. No, you are the musicians in the temple of the great King and our great High Priest, the one who emptied himself, who in his birth became poor, the God who became small and vulnerable for us." Monsignor Mayo has a remarkable ease with all people and a facility with conversation and exchange that brightens dinners, social events, and gatherings, and helps to build and grow the community so necessary to advancing the mission of the Church and the lives of its individual members. He remains a strong advocate for the cathedral and the choir school, and continues to provide resources to both for their future well-being and advancement.